Are we in frame? Are we in frame? We are. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we are going to talk about something that I see happen a lot, and that is people getting hung up on the minutia rather than the big picture when it comes to fitness. So I've been posting these vegan bodybuilding sample meal plans for a few weeks now on my Instagram, and the questions that I've been getting about them have led me to see a bit more how much people get hung up on the details without understanding the big picture. It is very important to understand the principles of muscle building, the principles of fat loss, the principles of things like calories in versus calories out, and what that means for the individual. It's important to understand your own goals and your own caloric maintenance. I have talked about this before, how important it is for you to figure out your own caloric maintenance before you try to figure out how much should I eat, which is the never-ending question. If that's something you guys want to learn, how to figure out your own maintenance, let me know and I will make a separate video about that. But it's an important thing to understand before you start DMing somebody on the internet and asking them, should I eat this for fat loss? Other questions that I have been getting a lot of are, should I eat this food for fat loss? Is this food good for fat loss? How many times should I eat per day? What do you think about intermittent fasting? Should I do cardio before or after weights? What body part split should I do? And all of these questions, they're not bad questions, but they lack context. And the context is those big principles that I just mentioned. That if you don't understand those things solidly, then asking these questions about meal timing or a certain body part split, it doesn't matter. It's like trying to slap a paint job on a car that has a busted engine. Without the engine working, that car's not going anywhere. So focusing on this minutia of nutrition, of training, none of it matters until you can, one, fully understand these concepts, and two, apply them at the most basic level. So let's talk about some of the basic level things that you need to understand before you start picking apart the minutia. The first thing is, what is your caloric maintenance? Now, this is a moving target and I understand that, but if you don't have any idea what your caloric maintenance level is, you're not going to be able to adjust calories to focus on the goal of building muscle or losing fat or doing a general body recomp. The next question is, what is your goal right now? So, of course, everyone's goal is to be jacked and shredded all the time, but sometimes you have to focus on one or the other, and you need to determine what is the most important thing that you need to focus on right now. Make that the goal. So the next thing you need to focus on in terms of nutrition is calories in versus calories out. Again, this does come back to caloric maintenance, which is why it's so important. But once you know what that is, if your goal is fat loss, you need to eat less than that. If your goal is muscle building, you need to eat more than that. To what degree, we could talk about that all day, but those are like the basic tenets you need to understand. There is no specific food or meal timing that's going to change those facts, so you need to get that squared away first. In terms of training, the most important thing is adherence and consistency. And this goes for nutrition as well. But with training, I see this almost even more so than with nutrition, what I call analysis paralysis, where somebody lays out what they think is the most ideal training ever, and they obsess over the little details about these supersets and this much rest time and this tempo, and it's like they're not even going to the gym regularly. Like, they're not even entering the gym regularly, but they're laying out this perfect plan. Like, that perfect plan on paper is complete garbage if you can't apply it. So even if you are just literally walking in the gym doors twice a week, every single week, and just hitting each body part with one exercise, that is going to be better than haphazardly going whenever you feel like it, or not going for months on end, but having the perfect plan on paper. So consistency in getting to the gym and building upon that consistency. For most new lifters, like under a year of lifting experience, you can pretty much go to the gym and do anything and make progress. All right? You can go to the gym and do anything and make progress when you're a new lifter. This is like the golden age of lifting. And if I could go back to that period and do everything again, I totally would, because that's the most fun time to be a lifter. Intermediate, yes, you need to be a little bit more specific, and then to get out of that, you need to be way more specific. But hopefully by that point, you understand these principles. But you'd be surprised how many intermediates don't understand these principles, and that's why they're stuck as an intermediate forever. So again, the blanket over all of these is adherence and consistency. If you can't adhere to your nutrition plan, it doesn't matter what it says on paper, it's not going to work. And consistency, if you can't repeat it day after day after day, you're not going to get results. Likewise in the gym. So before you start focusing on these smaller but important things like meal timing, like protein feedings, like volume density of foods, like supersets and tempo and all of those things, you need to make sure these massive building blocks are in place. So what minutia have you gotten hung up on? What big building blocks do you feel like you don't fully have a grasp on? Let me know in the comments down below, because this is something that I feel like could be fleshed out into a lot of information for you guys if that's something you're interested in. But in the meantime, if you find that you have a question about specifics, back up a little bit and make sure that the fundamentals of the question you're about to ask are sound. And if they're not, then try to understand those, learn about them, immerse yourself in education about these things so that you can understand that before you start trying to put these building blocks on top of a foundation that just isn't there. So let me know if you guys have any questions. This is definitely something that is near and dear to my heart, because I'm all about educating and trying to help people understand so that they don't become a victim or prey to the fitness industry that is just waiting to take your money for those stupid questions to be answered with some garbage. So let me know. Look forward to hearing from you, and I'll talk to you soon.